I'm Annika, and you're watching Annika in the Kitchen. On today's episode, we're making my favorite Mexican stuffed peppers. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make 4 of these bell peppers. We're going to be cutting off the tops and taking out the insides just like this. We're going to start off by cutting off the top of the pepper just like this. And then we're going to get a paring knife and take out the insides. Just like that, super easy, going all around the inside. Be sure not to poke it right in the bottom of the pepper or else your filling will ooze out. Then you just take out the inside just like that and rip everything out. If you need to go in again, take out the white insides of the pepper, you can certainly do that. And just like that, you empty out your insides and there, you have an empty bell pepper. So now I'm just going to continue doing the rest of the peppers and I'll see you guys in a little bit. Now we're just going to grease the pan with a little bit of extra virgin olive oil and we're going to pop these into the oven. We're going to put these in at 350 for 20 minutes. While I have those baking off in the oven, we're going to start with the sweet pepper filling. We're going to start off by rehydrating some dried chili peppers. Today I'll be using a dried chipotle pepper and 2 little red chili peppers. Depending on your preference, you can use whatever peppers you like. I'm just using the chipotle pepper because I'm a fan of smokiness, and I'm leaving the seeds in both of these peppers because I love the heat. So to rehydrate peppers, it's quite simple actually. You just pour some hot water on top of the peppers just like that. Make sure they're covered completely and leave it like that for about half an hour. If you feel that the water is getting cool, you can also keep refilling it and going back and forth until you feel that they're soft just like this. I have some prepared right here and you can tell that they're hydrated and they look like they were just peppers that we just picked. We're going to start by seasoning them with whole cumin seeds. Oh sorry, these are coriander seeds. And we're going to start with another half a tablespoon of cumin seeds. We're going to toast these on a pan on high for about 4 minutes and moving them periodically just so they don't get burnt. But we're going to toast them so the flavors come out of these spices as much as possible. Now that these are nice and toasted, they're ready to go inside of the mortar and pestle. We're just going to pop these in here and they're ready to go. Grinding with the mortar and pestle is my favorite because it's way better than buying the pre-packaged, pre-ground spices already made for you. This maximizes the flavors that go into your meals, and look, it's already done. Now we're going to move on to grinding our own meat for the stuffing for our peppers. I'm using today a really lean cut of meat, but you can use whatever you like. I love grinding my own meats at home because I can control exactly what goes into it. There's no fillers, there's no preservatives, and there's no extra fat that I don't really want. Now today I'm using a leaner cut of meat, so there's not a lot of fat inside of this ground beef. All I'm going to do is add the beef to the top of this machine and then feed it through. This is going to be really loud, so I'm going to show you guys what it looks like after. See that our meat is finally done grounding. You can just take off the rest of the meat right there and look at that. This meat is as lean as I want it and I put a little bit of fat in there just for flavor. Now that we have our beef already ground, let's take a look at our mise en place. We have our rehydrated peppers, half a teaspoon of dried thyme, half a teaspoon of black pepper, half a teaspoon of salt, and another half a teaspoon of Spanish oregano. We also have half a cup of all these ingredients, which are black beans, ready cooked rice, we have some corn, we have some tomato sauce, and then to fry in the pan we have half an onion, 4 cloves of garlic, and to cook inside the mixture we have some cilantro. Also to top off the mixture we're going to be using half a cup of Monterey Jack cheese. I just added some extra virgin olive oil to this pan on high heat, and now I'm going to add half an onion to it. And I'm going to let that brown for a little bit. Like once it's brown, Now we're gonna add our 4 cloves of garlic to that mixture. We're gonna let that brown, whoops. And then we're just gonna let that brown for a little bit with the onions. Now we're basically ready to add our ground beef. Break up that beef, make sure it's not clumpy when you're cooking it, just to make sure that there's no uneven cooking going on. Now we're about halfway through the cooking process of this beef, so now we're ready to add the spices. So we're just gonna go ahead, add all those spices that we ground, right in there, stir it right up. Oh, and don't forget to add your hydrated peppers. This will make it extra spicy and extra smoky. Perfect. Once you've added the spices, make sure to bring your heat down to medium heat. Once the meat is nicely browned, we're ready to add our corn, our rice, and our black beans to the mixture. Just pour this in. We're just going to heat this through. There's not much cooking required with these added ingredients. Now we're ready to add our tomato sauce. Right in there. Fold it through. You can see because of that tomato sauce, you can see everything coming together nicely. This is exactly the texture we want. Oh, I love these beautiful colors. If only we had some green, but we do. So we're gonna add our cilantro right now. And let that fold in, and this is basically done and ready to stuff inside of the peppers. We're gonna turn off our heat and let that sit for a little bit. Now we're ready to top off our peppers with some Monterey Jack cheese. I love using this cheese in my Mexican dishes because it adds this extra bite that's so good with all these seasonings. Now these 4 peppers are ready to go into the oven. Goes in at 350 for about 15 more minutes. Now that we have those peppers baking off in the oven, we're ready to start on our garnishes. For our garnish today, I'm gonna show you guys how to make tortilla chips, but I'm gonna put a little spin on them. I'm gonna make them in the shape of strips, just like this. We're gonna cut them right into thin little strips so they look sleek and modern. When they're fried, they might curl up on the sides, and it makes for great presentation. Now that these are cut, we're gonna add them to the fryer in small quantities. I'm gonna add 4 for right now. So I just have this oil heating up on high heat, just for these tortillas to fry and really brown. This deep frying method is really crucial for these tortillas to really crisp up. You want it to get a nice golden brown. As they're frying, you can flip them around. Oh, it's beautiful, right there. Oh, these are gonna be so crunchy and yummy. And you can say you made this dish entirely from scratch. The beef, the tortilla chips, everything. It's just perfect. Okay, these look about done. I'm ready to put these onto my paper towel that I have provided over here. Just take out a few and drain them out. Peppers just came out of the oven, and oh my god, the house smells wonderful. I'm just gonna take one of these little red guys and plate them up right here. Oh, that cheese looks so good because it's nice and golden brown. You guys can garnish with whatever you like. I love guacamole whenever I have Mexican dishes, so I'm just gonna pile that on right there. And what's a Mexican dish without sour cream to cool down your taste buds from all that pepper? Now just put a little bit of cilantro, because cilantro is my favorite herb. You can put a little bit on the plate, whatever you like. And then to top off and make this extra fancy, you just put your chips right beside there. Oh my god, that looks so good. This dish is super healthy, super easy to make, and it looks great when you're trying to impress your guests, but you have no time to make a really fancy dish. This is the way to go, and you make it all from scratch. The tortilla chips, the beef, everything. Thank you so much for cooking with Danica, and I'll see you guys next week.